guys, welcome back to my channel. Since I spent some time this week sharing our morning routines for school with our morning menu, and I shared a little bit about my kids' morning responsibility charts, I thought that this would be a good time to share our updated simple spring chore system in our home. Now, you guys know I'm not one to reinvent the wheel. I'm a very simple girl. I make charts on Microsoft Word, and the chores themselves never really change. However, year to year, as my kids get older and things start to pick up in the spring, like we're wanting to be in the pool more, we're wanting to be at the beach more, we've got more fun outdoor activities to do, it seems like every spring I have the desire to kind of change our chore charts a little bit, kind of level up the responsibility as my kids get older, etc. So I thought I would just share the simple update for this year. So before I even share what the chores are and what the little chore chart is that I've created, I know the first question I'm going to get is, how do I reward? Do we pay? Do we do allowance? Now, we've done all sorts of different money management and rewards over the years, but we always tend to go back to what has worked from the beginning, which is a simple point system. I've printed out and laminated little points that we've had forever in the house. I mean, I'm talking since our kids were like 2 and 4. I think we've had these little points that we've recycled in a jar. And right now what they use those points for, they can earn up to 3 of them a day. It's all tied to school. Our chores, we call them contributions because they're contributing to the running of our household. They can do their morning contribution, their school, and their afternoon contribution. They would get 3 of those points for the day. Right now they can use 2 of them for a treat. We always have healthier treat options. We've got some yogurts, like the fun yogurts with the little mix-ins, you know, and some like Outshine popsicles, things like that, that they're welcome to use their points for after they finish their dinner. And then we also allow them to use 5 points at a time on a Saturday morning to watch a show. Obviously, they don't have free reign to what they choose, but we don't do TV time except for a documentary on Tuesday nights usually, or family movie night. So it's the only time that they kind of pick a show that they want to use. They can use 10 of those on a Saturday for up to an hour total. So 5 per half hour. Now that tends to be when they want to like watch kids play video games on YouTube, and it makes me cringe like how mindless that is, but it's really fun for them, and so I like giving them the space to do that. So the points work for that. The reason we no longer do allowance, even though we tried, is because they get birthday money, Christmas money, they get, you know, money from my father-in-law when they go over there and wash his truck, and grandma gives them money for chores, and they get way more money from the grandparents than we give. And so it's almost like the little quarters and nickels that we gave them wasn't really teaching them much. So what we've done is we've switched the kids to having their own savings accounts, and we just taught them to take half of what they make and put it in their savings, and we talk about stuff like that with them all the time. So allowance never quite worked out for our family just because we're not the only ones who are paying them, and so it really just kind of imploded. It didn't quite work out for us, but the points and giving them those rewards has always been like the best currency for them, because they like having the opportunity to have screen time. They like being able to have like a popsicle or a treat after dinner, and that is something that's kind of outside of their normal, which is what's exciting to them. So we do those points. However, more so than the points, a household that runs smoothly and functions well is a reward in itself. We can go to the beach when we finish school. We can go play in the pool when they finish school. I would say yes far more often to playing games, or to doing a kiwi crate, or to letting them get into crafts, because everything has been done in the house already. So there's that just natural like delayed gratification that I'm really trying to teach them, that, and which they already pretty much know. We've been doing chores forever. Like, they've always done chores in our house. And so that delayed gratification and that contentment of having things that need to be done, now you can go enjoy other things and opportunities. That is the main goal for me as far as doing these contributions. Just a household that runs well is a reward in itself. So like I said, I change the system every year or so, but the actual chores themselves don't really ever change. We've always done basically the same chores, which is just like a room or a major task. Now, in the past, we've assigned the same room or the same major task to a kid for a full month or a full week. What I'm learning right now is that a fresh set of eyes on the daily is the best thing for us in this house. It creates this great balance of there's something different every day, so you're not overlooking the same, like if you have the same room all week long, you're gonna have the same candy wrappers sitting on a shelf, you're gonna overlook that probably every single day. But if you're a new set of eyes in that room, you might pick up on that because this is not normally the room you're in, and so you're not just kind of immune to seeing everything that's not quite in the right place. Also, there's this great sibling thing happening, which I mean, it's, you know, sibling, it's a sibling, not sibling rivalry, but also they like to tell on each other, where if you're in a room that your sibling was in the day prior, but your sibling did not complete that room well, it's going to create more work for you. Naturally, you're going to then say, you didn't do this. And so in order to avoid that, everyone seems to put in their best effort just in order to avoid being called out, I guess. It's a thing that I'm letting happen because it's working out great for me, just saying. So right now, I'll do a run through of what these tasks are, but that's kind of what we're doing right now is we're changing it out on the daily, their morning and their afternoon contributions. And it's also a great way for them to learn some life skills because some of the contributions, as you'll see, are like doing laundry start to finish or cooking breakfast. Things like that, which is really great. And then I'm always available when they're doing their chores, I'm doing my chores. I'm coming right alongside them. Depending on how they ask, I will help. If they come to me and say, I can't do this because the rug is wrinkled up, I'm like, okay. But if they say, Mom, will you help me do this because the rug is wrinkled up? Totally. So it's all about just there's so many learning opportunities when you're doing chores. It is not just about cleaning the house for Mom. There are so many. I just try to make it model real life for them as much as possible because that's my goal. Like my goal is not for them to clean the house for me. My goal is for them to learn delayed gratification, doing a job well, and attitude in general. I will say before I get into the breakdown of the daily tasks that we, for years and years and years, like probably 8 years, have had a housekeeper. Right now it's every Monday and it's been really helpful. It is a great maybe finances I would otherwise have spent on like some me time, like getting a pedicure or you know, going out and just shopping by myself, things that like clear my head or help me. Putting the budget toward having a housekeeper is so great for me. It helps my home, which is also my homeschool, which is also my work and also my haven, function very well. It takes a major load off of my plate because as long as the house is functioning well, chores are being done, she can spend her time doing things like mopping or kind of more of the deep cleaning, which is the biggest benefit to me. I don't need somebody to come and pick up what my kids and I can pick up. It really is just a great blessing for me to have somebody do that once a week in order for me to then spend my time either working or homeschooling. So that has been something that we have taken the responsibility of. You know, we're very mindful to not hire somebody, not to support a small business unless we can make the commitment to that small business. And so we have really enjoyed having our sweet housekeeper. We've had this particular one for a couple of years. She's definitely like family. She's here once a week. She's here when we're homeschooling. She's here when I'm yelling at my kids. Like, she is family. But she is very, very, very helpful. The kids must do their chores because if she comes and she's doing things that we should have already done as a family, then the kids know they have to contribute to paying our bill because I don't pay for a company to come clean what we could be doing on our own, if that makes any sense. Kind of a weird ramble, but I wanted to add that in. So when our kids are doing chores, I'm also doing some daily housekeeping stuff. Annie's chore is also basically my chore because she's 4. She can do quite a bit, but I have to be right with her. She loves being responsible. She loves having her little task card. She loves doing chores like the older kids, which is like totally the benefit once you're like kid number 2, 3, or 4 is like you want that same level of responsibility as the older siblings, but I still have to be right with her. So whatever her chore is really my chore for the week. So I showed you this when I showed you morning menus recently. They have like these good morning sheets that are laminated, and they have their morning routine, which is their breakfast, cleaning up their breakfast mess, cleaning their bedroom, doing their hygiene, glasses or contacts, or brushing their hair, washing their face, all that stuff. And they have a spot for a morning contribution before they go and do the rest of their morning work. Now their morning contributions, do I have it here? Yes, right here. Their morning contributions, like I said, these change daily. So I don't know if you guys, if the lighting is gonna let that be picked up or not, but Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there is something every single day. It is what it is. We live in this house 7 days a week. Stuff has to be done 7 days a week. It's just the reality. The chores, the contributions in the morning is either making breakfast, cleaning up the bathroom, their bathroom, not my bathroom, doing their laundry, and that's again, start to finish, and taking out the trash and recycling. Trash is probably every other day. Recycling is an everyday task, and so they have to take that out every day. Now, I'll break this down a little bit. Breakfast, for my older kids, I tell them what breakfast is. They're in charge of cooking it and cleaning up the cooking mess. For my older ones, it's stuff like breakfast burritos, whole wheat tortillas, they scramble up some eggs, they put some cheese or salsa on it, breakfast burritos with a side of fruit. There's also, my older ones can make pancakes. My middle kids can easily do bagels, waffles, always with a side of fruit, always like a yogurt cup on the side. Annabeth, the best thing for Annie and Eli are yogurt and toast, fruit and toast. They can help, I can help them scramble eggs. Some days I'll have them just make bagels and I'll make smoothies, but best thing has been Kodiak, the oatmeal packets. I have an electric kettle, so it's very simple. Again, I'm with them in the kitchen, like they're not pouring boiling water without me, the younger ones, but it's so simple. They ask each kid which flavor of the Kodiak mix they want, pour it in the bowl, pour a little bit of that boiling water right on top, and then mix it up, and then serve it with a half a banana. Breakfast is done. Very simple. So depending on who is doing breakfast that morning, I will base my decision on what breakfast is based on who's doing breakfast that morning. But it's always good to have a little bit of a challenge if you're right there on hand to help them. That's how they learn new skills. So, you know, up until recently, Bella was the only one who could do pancakes, who could cook some of that Applegate chicken sausage. Jesse now is completely capable. Eli, again, wants to be like his older siblings. He doesn't want to just take a cup of chobani and throw a banana next to it anymore. He wants to be doing the things that the older kids are doing. So it's a great way to incorporate life skills into your homeschool. Bathroom is pretty self-explanatory. Laundry, so this is the only one that they don't repeat. So each of the kids has a day. They are in charge of doing their laundry start to finish. That means that they're gonna start the wash when they wake up. The wash will be done by the time like they finish their little morning menu, and then they can throw it in the dryer. And then about after lunch, they're putting it away during their quiet time because it needs to be a complete cycle. So Monday through Thursday, each kid has a day assigned to them to do their laundry. Friday, I'll do mine and John's laundry. Saturday, everyone strips their beds. We wash sheets, we redo beds, bedding. I have to do that once a week. It's like it is my weird thing. Like I have to do that at least once a week. Maybe it's not weird, but I think it's like something that, I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be done every single week, like that you wash blankets and everything too, but I have to do it, or I feel like I can feel germs. And then Sunday is just catch up, which is usually like John's work clothes and stuff. That didn't happen with our adult laundry. And then trash and recycling, also self-explanatory, very simple. That is all done in the morning. Each kid only has one task in the morning, so they complete that as part of their morning routine when they're making their beds, when they're brushing their teeth. They do their little 10-minute chore. None of that takes more than 10 minutes because it's being done daily. And then they get into their quiet time. They do their, you know, reading a chapter of a book. Sometimes I'll assign math to them ahead of time. They practice their music, etc. And then the afternoon contributions, we have the same thing going on. It is a different task for each of them every day. They'll each have one of these that they'll repeat a couple of times during the week, and it's just the luck of the draw. I'll change it every couple weeks, but as of right now, nobody's complained about which one they have twice, and so I'm not changing it. Again, 7 days a week, because we live here 7 days a week. The 4 tasks are the kitchen, the dining room, the living room, and the homeschool room. Remember, their morning routines include their bedroom every day, and somebody's doing the bathroom every day as well. Those are the main living spaces in our house. When it comes to cleaning out the car, or cleaning the patio, or like mopping, things like that, I'm doing anyway, or we're doing as a family, like if we're all in the pool, the patio is getting picked up, blah, blah, blah. So, but I'm very specific on what I want done daily for those 4 things, because if I were to say right now, Eli, go clean the living room, he'd be like, okay. He'd pick up Annie's welly wisher and her little pile of doll stuff, put it in her room and be like, it's done. But that's not like what I really need in order for our home to function well. So I've made these little laminated task sheets that I hang on this little magnetic clip right above their contribution charts. So I was saying some of the kids need this and some of the kids just reference it when they're done to make sure they've done everything. As you can see, based on who had these today, some of them like to mark things off and some of them don't. So the kitchen task sheet that has doing the dishes, clearing the drying rack, unloading or starting the dishwasher, depending on where it's at for the day, clearing off the counters, and vacuuming the floor. Very simple. Again, this takes 15 minutes or less, and that is all they're doing for the day as far as chores go, besides their own personal responsibilities. The schoolroom, we do these afternoon contributions after lunch before we do independent reading time, read aloud time, and then quiet time. So it's a great way to kind of like refresh the house before some of our quieter, more peaceful things in our homeschool. And then after that, they're outside or they're swimming, and then John comes home and then it's dinner time and everybody kind of picks up together at the end of the night. Schoolroom is pick up the piles on the floor. By the time our morning schoolwork is done, there are books stacked on the floor, there's like magnet tiles on the floor, like there's little bits and pieces of craft stuff on the floor. So picking up the piles on the floor, everyone is responsible to put their own books away, but there's always, again, some other things like a couple markers left on the table. So clearing and wiping the table down, making sure everything was put away properly in the art cart, vacuuming the room, and then just checking the bookshelves, because we do have like nonfiction books go here and lift the flat books go there, and especially Annabeth will just kind of put books all over the place, or sometimes I'm totally guilty of doing this too. I'll like lay a school book flat on the shelf to go walk over and do something else and forget about it, so they'll just check the bookshelves as well. But again, like when I do like a deep clean, that's something that I'll check as well. The dining room, clearing the table and the coffee bar off, spraying the windows. Oh yeah, that's the sliding door that we use most often, is the one in our dining room, so there's always finger marks on it every day. The sliding door in the schoolroom, for some reason, we don't go in and out to the pool from there. Only the dining room one for some reason. So that needs to be wiped down almost every single day. Clearing off the piano, because we do tend to set stuff on the piano as well. Vacuuming the room and checking the fruit. That's actually one that I added recently because I was always letting fruit like go bad. I wasn't changing the fruit. I wasn't moving the baskets around. We have like a 3-tiered metal thing that holds all of our produce. And so they'll check and make sure there's no like wilted lime or like an apple with a spot that's gonna attract fruit flies or something like that. Mostly bananas. They'll just check that and just make sure it's all good. The bathroom, they have to clean the toilet, obviously. Sweep the floor, restock the toilet paper and paper towels in there, clear off the sink, and take out the trash in the bathroom. We take that trash out every day. And then the living room, they need to vacuum the rug, vacuum the floor, lint roll the pillows, because our dog really thinks that the couch is for him. So they have to lint roll the pillows, get the dog hair off. Clear the side tables, and just make sure that nobody set anything on the shelves. So they're really simple tasks, but like I said, if you were to look at the living room and think, oh, all I need to do is put the stuff away, well, well then by that evening, we're gonna see dog hair, or nobody's ever gonna get around to lint rolling the pillows except for me, or there's gonna be a Chewy bar wrapper sitting on our TV console for a week and a half until it catches my eye when we have company over, which is what usually happens. And so I just like having these checklists. It makes tasks less overwhelming for the younger ones because it's very simple. Okay, there are 5 things I need to do in this room versus, oh, I don't know where to start with the room. And then it helps me make sure that very specific things are getting done. I don't have to spend extra time checking on the rooms. I can do things like organizing the pantry, or, you know, dusting, or doing a quick mop in the middle of the week, or cleaning my bathroom really well because I'm not cleaning both the bathrooms at the same time, keeping up with my own laundry and the linen laundry, or washing the windows, things like that. I can spend my time doing because the main daily tasks are all being done as a family. So that is our very simple spring chore system right now. Again, like the chores themselves are actually the same. It's always gonna be like the room, the floor, put the stuff away. I mean, you can't really reinvent chores that much, but the approach I kind of update every year or so. And the kids seem to like the refresh as much as I do. So that's the little simple system we're using this year. Like I said, I made everything on Microsoft Word and used my Amazon Basics laminator. Nothing special happening over here, just a happy mom and a functioning household. So that's what our spring chore system looks like. Let me know down below how you guys do chores in your house. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. I think I'm like inching closer to 20,000, which is so crazy and so exciting. So make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you guys soon. Bye guys.